So Thunderbolts effectively kicked off the summer movie season this year, and I decided to look ahead at not just this summer, but my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. Welcome to the channel, Eager McBeavers. So let's get this out of the way. This is not in any particular order. I've just listed out a bunch of movies that I've had my eyes on. They come out this summer, they come out later in fall festivals, they come out later this month I can. And the reality of it is not all of these movies are going to come out this year. There are going to be some movies that do come out this year that I am not aware of yet. We'll see if I even get to see all of these movies. I'm excited to just break down some of these movies that I have my eyes on. I'm going to start out with a movie called Friendship. It stars Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson. It has the vibes of Banshees of Inisherin, where a friendship is broken up abruptly. The trailer looks hilarious, and I know I get to see this soon. Hurry Up Tomorrow. It's based off The Weeknd's album of the same name, and The Weeknd stars in it alongside Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan. It's directed by Trey Edward Schultz, who directed Waves and It Comes at Night. This thing looks eclectic, but I also know the last Weeknd project in television was The Idol. So going cautiously. The Phoenician Scheme is the latest Wes Anderson project. I'm still not entirely sure what this movie is about, but it's got a great cast: Benicio del Toro, Mia Tripleton. Michael Cera, I think, is a great fit within the cast of Wes Anderson regulars. This premieres at Cannes, and then like a couple weeks later, it will premiere to the public, so I'm excited for that. The live action Lilo and Stitch. I'm cautiously optimistic for this. The thing that you need to know about me, though, is that Lilo and Stitch is probably my favorite Disney movie of all time. I'm probably going in with a more critical eye than most people. My main thing is that it looks like they're trying to gear Bubbles as the main antagonist, and I'm not sure how to feel about that quite yet. The live action How to Train Your Dragon. It's just weird how Chris Sanders and Dean Dubois have had two movies that have been adapted to live action this year with Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. But this one is directed by Dean Dubois, and I like the cast: Mason Thames and Nico Parker. Also, Julian Dennison, Gerard Butler is back from the animated movie. Nick Frost is in this. The CG does look great, and the word out of CinemaCon is that this is a fairly solid live action recreation, so we'll see how I feel about it later. F1. We got Brad Pitt, Kerry Condon, Javier Bardem. It's the director of Top Gun Maverick, Joseph Kosinski. That's his name. I'm kind of into it. I love racing sounds in the theater, so this could be up my alley. The Life of Chuck. This was last year's TIFF People's Choice Award. It's Stephen King. It's supposed to be a non-spooky thing, but then you got the likes of Jacob Tremblay, Mark Hamill, Tom Hiddleston. I just hear this is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. The Materialist. It stars Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, and Chris Evans, and is about a matchmaker having to choose between a richer or for poorer person. It is written and directed by Celine Song, who created Past Lives and In Her We Trust. So Alpha is due to premiere at Cannes. It is directed by Julia Ducournau, who directed Titan and Raw. Stars Emma Mackey, Tahar Rahim, and a little girl comes home from school with a tattoo on her arm, and it's supposed to be like this allegory for a sickness spreading around. It takes place in the 80s, so I think we can imply that it's HIV or something like that. This is going to be interesting. I haven't seen Titan or Raw, but those are body horror movies. We'll see. I'm very interested in this. We have After the Hunt, directed by Luca Guadagnino. Stars Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, Ayo Edebiri. Julia Roberts is caught between a personal and professional affair when an accusation is made against her colleague, Andrew Garfield, by a pupil, Ayo Edebiri. I've been told this is Luca Guadagnino's most accessible film to a public audience. That's very interesting to me. So yeah, we'll see. Then we have Eddington, directed by Ari Aster, starring Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix. It's supposed to be a Western comedy taking place in COVID era, and Joaquin Phoenix is going to be running for mayor after he refuses to wear a mask in a supermarket. I'm kind of interested in how Ari Aster, of all people, is going to tackle this era. I'm sure he's going to be poking fun at the two sides that were created. And if we get another horrible thing happening to them, like, I don't know, Penis Monster, sure, why not? Die My Love. This was a late addition to the Cannes competition lineup, directed by Lynn Ramsey from You Were Never Really There, and We Need to Talk About Kevin. It stars Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, Keith Stanfield, and Sissy Spacek. It's going to be this exploration into motherhood, and Lynn Ramsey just has like this dark lens to a lot of her movies. I don't really know what the premise is, but we'll see, because I think Jennifer Lawrence is going to get some traction for lead actress probably. The Secret Agent comes out at Cannes. It stars Wagner Moura, and it's a Brazilian film. After I'm Still Here from last year, I think I'm more interested in hearing the roar of the Brazilian crowd. We have the latest from director Jafar Panahi. It was just an accident. I've also seen the title A Simple Accident floating around. I'm not sure which is the final title. This is going to be similar to The Seed of a Sacred Fig, where the director had to smuggle the film out of Iran, and he's been arrested for being so open against the Iranian government. He directed this movie remotely and not on location. Well, I'm open to seeing how this fares to The Seed of the Sacred Fig from last year by Mohamed Rusulov, because that was one of my favorite movies. Sentimental Value, directed by Joaquin Trier. He's director of The Worst Person in the World, and he rejoins with Renata Reinsve, Elle Fanning, and Stellan Skarsgård. And the basic premise that I know of is that a father is returning to his town to try to mend his relationship with his daughter, and they're both filmmakers or within the filmmaking industry. So many people floating around. This is probably your closest to winning Palme d'Or. Sound of Falling sounds extremely interesting. It takes place over a century, and we're following 4 different girls within that timeline on like a farmland, I think. It just sounds like one of those prestige things that will break the barrier. Highest to Lowest, the newest Spike Lee joint. It's a reimagining of High and Low by Akira Kurosawa, set in New York. Stars Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, A$AP Rocky, Ice Spice. It's premiering out of competition. I mean, we'll see, because I know not a lot of people liked the last Spike Lee joint that was an adaptation of Asian cinema, Old Boy. Eleanor the Great is coming, Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut, and it stars June Squibb. I think that just sounds lovely. I don't know. Urchin, directorial debut of Harris Dickinson. Just by the title alone, if I had to guess, this lead is going to be extremely insufferable, like an urchin, just like that, the little poke in your back. One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson, so it's going to be a bit high profile for awards later in the year. Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Teyana Taylor, Regina Hall, Alana Haim, Chase Infinity. Just the trailer alone is kind of intriguing. The pregnant woman with the assault rifle. That's crazy. This premiered earlier in the year at Sundance, but Omaha stars John Magaro, directed by Cole Webley. 2 daughters are woken up by their father and are taken on a cross-country journey. This is going to be interesting. I've heard great things about it. Sorry Baby. It is directed and starring Eva Victor. You've probably seen the poster of the girl holding the cat, and there's supposed to be this confrontation scene about her having this cat in a grocery store that is very emotionally draining. Train Dreams. It is directed by Clint Bentley, and it is written by Sing Sing director Greg Quaidar. It stars Joel Edgerton, Felicity Jones, Kerry Condon, William H. Macy, Sean San Jose. I'm not 100% what it's about, but it's another one out of Sundance that I've heard nothing but great things about. Plain Clothes came out of Sundance as well. An undercover officer is assigned to lure and arrest gay men, but he falls in love with one of his targets. Stars Tom Blythe and Russell Tovey. I think I'm going to be looking out for this, although I haven't seen anyone pick this up yet. A big one this year out of South by Southwest, I think, The Rivals of Amzia King. It's the same director of The Vast of Night. I hear that Matthew McConaughey, Kurt Russell, and Angelina Lookingglass are great in this movie. It's a musical, apparently. And now we get into some of the horror that is coming this year. I think it is a stacked year. 28 years later, Danny Boyle is back. Alex Garland is back. I've never seen the first 2 movies, and we will remedy that. But these trailers actually get me scared in the theater. Stars Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ray Fiennes, Jack O'Connell. I'm very excited for it. Weapons. I don't want to know more about Weapons than what I already do, which is a classroom full of kids just disappears one night by walking downstairs and running into the night. I wanted to avoid that first trailer, but it inevitably played as an ad before a video. And it's scary as hell. It seems to draw on some Japanese influence, but it's the team behind Barbarian. So I know I want to stay away from this, because as someone that went into Barbarian completely blind, that was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. And a movie is good when Jordan Peele fires his management team for not getting the rights to weapons. And then we have him, Jordan Peele, did get to produce this one. Aesthetically, I love how this looks like a Gatorade commercial or like a sports promo. Directed by Justin Tipping, it looks like Marlon Wayans is going to be like the whiplash kind of teacher to this young football star. Marlon Wayans, known for his comedy roles, playing something a bit more sinister. I'm very much anticipating this movie. Bring her back. I loved Talk to Me, the director's first going. The trailers, again, are extremely unnerving and scary, even if it is another possession film. I have faith in Raka Raka that they're going to deliver another crazy movie, and Sally Hawkins is in it, so that's something to look forward to. Megan 2.0. So I'd be lying if I said this doesn't look goofy as hell, but everyone is back from the first movie cast-wise. I liked the first Megan a lot. There was actually a lot of heart in the first Megan that I wasn't expecting, that kind of just worked in tandem with the comedic aspects of the horror. I'm not totally sure what this movie is going to bring to the plate in terms of that. Together looks absolutely insane. I like the idea of Dave Franco and Alison Brie being a couple in real life and then taking that dynamic to the screen. And I saw the trailer, and again, this is one I want to keep away from as much trailer as possible because it looks like they're fusing together. That's already crazy to me. I think this year is going to be intense in terms of like body horror. And then there's The Black Phone 2. Everyone is returning somehow. Scott Derrickson is returning to direct. I genuinely love the first Black Phone. This is one of those things that I'm cautiously optimistic walking into. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I am in the middle of watching all the Mission Impossibles for the first time. We'll see how this delivers as the potential finale to that franchise, or at least the finale of Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. Ballerina, another franchise that I'm just not caught up on, but this movie is also like extremely troubled, right? Because they had to bring Chad Stahelski to do the reshoots, and then we shoehorn John Wick into Ana de Armas's movie. We'll see, because I hear that the footage that they showed at CinemaCon was great, but I don't know, it sounds kind of troubling to me. Superman. It's James Gunn, and it's a reset for the DC universe. You got David Cornsweet, Nicholas Hoult, Rachel Brosnahan, Nathan Fillion, Isabella Marced. I actually have high hopes, as this is the launch to a new universe, and it'll be my introduction to DC. Really, maybe it's a universe that I get to grip onto, you know? Fantastic Four, First Steps. So the Fantastic Four that has Jessica Alba in it was my introduction to Marvel in general. So, I'm kind of actually looking forward to see this interpretation of the Fantastic Four. I like the 60s aesthetic. We got Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Backrack, Paul Walter Hauser, Julia Garner, John Malkovich, Ralph Ineson. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one, actually. The Battle of the Safdie Brothers, though. Marty Supreme will come out on Christmas, directed by Josh Safdie. I know it's about like a ping pong prodigy of some kind. We got Timothy Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Fran Drescher, Tyler the Creator is in it. I think that's got my attention. The Smashing Machine trailer looked great, and this one's going to be directed by Benny Safdie. You got Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and it's about Mark Kerr, the MMA fighter. Dwayne Johnson doing something semi-serious is actually really, really interesting to me. No Other Choice, directed by Park Chan-wook. This is the director that gave us Old Boy and Decision to Leave. An unemployed man decides to eliminate his competition to secure a new job. That premise alone is super interesting. Park Chan-wook is a master at like action scenes. Here's a movie that I don't think anyone's heard of, Lucky Lou. I know this premieres at Cannes, but it's supposed to be like a modern take on Bicycle Thieves and Uber Eats. Biker gets their bike taken away from them, and then tensions rise, and I know it's like a mainly Asian cast. It's going to be interesting, I think. Bugonia, the latest Yorgos Lanthimos movie. Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, Alicia Silverstone, Stavros Halkias. A beekeeper believes aliens are going to destroy the natural world and decides to kidnap a pharmaceutical executive to prevent disaster. Need I say more? The Mastermind, it's directed by Kelly Reichardt, a director that I appreciate. I really like Showing Up. It's a period heist film that takes place in the 70s, and I think everyone is just more curious how Kelly Reichardt's slower, more deliberate pacing shown in the rest of her movies is going to play with a heist story. The Ballad of a Small Player, it's the next film directed by Edward Berger. You got Colin Farrell and Tilda Swinton. A high stakes gambler lays low in Macau after his past catches up to him, and along the way, he meets a kindred spirit with the key to his salvation. I think Netflix has a hold of this, so we'll see if this is just dropped to streaming. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, I'm very interested in. Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz, Felix Kammerer. Guillermo del Toro knows what he's doing. I trust this man to do the best with the Frankenstein story. Jay Kelly is the newest Noah Baumbach movie. Even the premise doesn't give us much. Everyone knows Jay Kelly, but he doesn't know himself. We got George Clooney, Adam Sandler, Greta Gerwig, Riley Keough, Laura Dern, Patrick Wilson. If Adam Sandler gets nominated for supporting actor for this, then that redeems the Uncut Gems. Kiss of the Spider Woman. It's a remake directed by Bill Condon, who directed Dreamgirls, two of the Twilight movies. He wrote Chicago and The Greatest Showman. We have two prisoners recounting a Hollywood musical while they are imprisoned, and in those imaginations is Jennifer Lopez. I've heard she's probably the best thing about this movie, but we'll see. I need to watch it for myself. Deliver Me From Nowhere has my interest. The Bruce Springsteen biopic stars Jeremy Allen White and Jeremy Strong, two Jeremys, and I think they both have a real shot at nominations again. Elio, the original Pixar movie of this year. I think the trailers are a little bit underwhelming, but I'm kind of in for it. Domishi is co-directing it. So, I have my hopes up because Turning Red is awesome and I love Bao. Zootopia 2, I'm interested in how they follow up thematically because I think there's a lot you can do premise-wise with a Animal Kingdom with like police officers and such. The Bad Guys 2, I enjoyed the first Bad Guys movie. I've never read this book series, so I have no idea where we're going from here. Avatar Fire and Ash. It's a cinematic event. It's James Cameron. I know it's a Fire Nation Navi. I have only seen Way of Water. We'll fix that. I know this is one that you are going to have to catch in theaters. Wicked for Good. I think Wicked is slowly losing steam, so who knows if this truly sticks around toward the end of the year like it's going to, or if we're going to have this reinvigoration for it. But I have my full first review of the first half of Wicked. I was underwhelmed, but maybe with the completion of the story, I'll like everything altogether. The new music is kind of intriguing because we have all of the good songs in the first half. Right? Hamnet, the newest Chloe Zhao movie, director of Nomadland and The Eternals. You got Paul Mescal and Jessie Buckley playing Shakespeare and Shakespeare's wife, and they are grieving over their dead child for Christmas. Caught Stealing, Darren Aronofsky's newest movie, director of Black Swan, Pi, The Whale. Austin Butler is a former baseball player that gets caught up in a New York City underground crime world kind of thing. You also have Regina Hall, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith. This is going to be a fun one, I think. Rental Family. It stars Brendan Fraser. An actor living in Tokyo joins a rental family company as the token American. If you understand the idea of what a rental family is in Japan, you basically invite people to your functions to pretend like you have friends or family to join you. I think if Brendan Fraser has a true follow-up to The Whale, it's going to be this. Karate Kids Legends. I did Taekwondo for a number of years, so the Karate Kid movies are kind of ingrained in my head, but I've never seen Cobra Kai, and I don't know what really overlaps. I also heard this thing is only 90 minutes, so who knows how this is going to turn out. There's a movie out there called The Lost Bus, directed by Paul Greengrass, who did the Bourne trilogy and Captain Phillips. Again, stars Matthew McConaughey and also America Ferrera, and a bus driver and a teacher navigate a bus full of students caught in a wildfire. Just because of the recent wildfires in LA, I think this is going to pull at some heartstrings that maybe gains momentum to bring it for awards talk. Jurassic World Rebirth. So I've only seen the original Jurassic Park, and the writer of that movie is returning for this one. It's going to be sort of kind of a soft reboot with all the events of the previous World trilogy. Directed by Gareth Edwards. You got Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, Rupert Friend. It could be fun, it could be trash, because I heard the last trilogy was trash. The Running Man, Glenn Powell and Edgar Wright. You're basically hunted for 30 days on a game show, and I know this is a remake. You also got Josh Brolin, Jimmy Lawson, Lee Pace, Michael Cera, Katie O'Brien, Coleman Domingo. This is going to be a really fun one, I think. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey stars Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie, directed by Kogonada, who I've never seen any of his work. But again, they showed this at CinemaCon and I've heard promising things. So, sure, I'm looking forward to it. Anemone. This brought Daniel Day-Lewis out of retirement. Now, granted, it's his son, Ronan Day-Lewis, that is doing the directing, and we still don't really know what this movie is about, but it also has Sean Bean and Samantha Morton, so, keep your eyes out for it. Keeper, directed by Osgood Perkins. Tatiana Maslany in a starring role again, and I know it has something to do with, like, creepy things at a cabin, but hey, Osgood Perkins dropping something so soon after The Monkey, so soon after Longlegs. This guy is just going to keep chugging, so we'll see. I'm kind of interested in it. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. I know there's this whole web series and TV show that I've never seen, so I have some homework to do, but I've just heard this is the funniest movie of the year so far. You got Matt Johnson directing it, who did Blackberry, and I loved Blackberry. Left-Handed Girl, this has my attention. It has my attention mainly because Sean Baker co-wrote, produced, and edited it, and it's directed by a longtime collaborator of his, Shi Ching-so. A mother returns to Taipei with her two daughters to open a stand in a busy night mart. I've got my eyes on this. I know this premieres at Cannes. Magellan, it's Filipino, so I have to shout it out. Lav Diaz, I know his movies like take forever. He loves his long shots. This one in particular is running about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's a period piece about Ferdinand Magellan, who is a Portuguese navigator. I'm interested to see it. It will be my introduction to Lav Diaz as a director. They just released the trailer for The Long Walk. It's another Stephen King adaptation, but we got David Johnson, Ben Wang, Cooper Hoffman, Judy Greer, Mark Hamill, written by Strange Darlings director JT Molnar, and it's directed by Francis Lawrence, who does the Hunger Games movies. Walk or Die. That's a crazy premise. I'm very interested. Roofman. A thief steals from McDonald's and then evades capture by hiding in the walls of Toys R Us. It stars Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, Peter Dinklage, Uzo Abuda, Jimmy O Yang, Ben Mendelsohn, and it's a true story. It's a crazy-ass true story. I'm very interested. For some reason, they're putting Freakier Friday in theaters. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are returning. The trailer has not won me over, but we'll see. It's been a long time since I've watched the first Freaky Friday. Maybe this does pull some nostalgia strings on me. The Toxic Avenger. This premiered at Fantastic Fest like 2 years ago, 2023. It's just coming out now for some reason. But Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, Elijah Wood, Julia Davis, Kevin Bacon, and it's a remake, but I think this has some potential around it. I don't know if I've heard any buzz about it specifically, if it's good or not, from people that went to Fantastic Fest. And I kind of saved this one for last because we don't really know what's going on with this movie. But Michael, it's the Michael Jackson biopic. It stars his nephew Jafar Jackson. I know there's this whole lawsuit about the fact that they were using the victims of the case, it's going to be controversial no matter what, and they had to reshoot it a bunch. Is this movie going to be split into two like it's rumored? It still has a release date for later this year, but I just feel like it's a mess at this point, right? It is directed by Anton Fuqua, so, I have some hope that he does pull something watchable out of it, but it's kind of crazy to see the tumultuous downfall of this movie. From what I heard, was something super solid before they had to reshoot it. And with that, those are just some of the movies that I am looking forward to for the rest of the year. Now, if there's any that I am missing, you for sure will let me know in the comments below. And until these movies do come out, thank you for watching. My name is Kyle. I'm still learning to fall in love with the medium of cinema. And if you'd like to join me on this journey, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and follow me on Letterboxd. Again, let me know if there's any movies that I am missing that you are anticipating for the rest of this year. And let me know which ones you want me to prioritize to review or you want to hear my opinions on them. Don't forget to like this video. And until next time, that's a wrap.